I started out in the Navy when I got out of high school. After coming home from the Navy, I was a gunner's mate, and I warheaded missiles, and there just really wasn't a big demand for that where I lived at. So I did what I could. I found a job as a carpenter's helper, and I went up to the ranks in construction, and I landed kind of as a cabinet maker, and I worked for the majority of the time, I guess maybe 25 years as a cabinet maker. At that time, as I aged, I decided I needed to probably convert to something a little easier, a little less production wise. So I went into maintenance, and I worked maintenance jobs for about 10 years. And even in the maintenance jobs, they were not as bad as production work, but they were hot and nasty, and just not something I want to do the rest of my life. So I was just perusing the internet, and I seen I've always been interested in computers and wanting to code and doing other things. So I thought, well, let me just give this a try and see. So that's pretty much it. I always like to figure out how things work, and coding just seemed to be the natural thing to do with it. I really hadn't thought of coding until I started exploring. I like to create things, and programming is basically what that is. I was looking at anywhere from $6,000 to upwards of $20,000 to spend on school, and I felt that I needed to do my due diligence and research it all. So I took a while, probably 2 months, looking at everything. I tried out some other schools where they had like some, they let you do like a little test programming pilot type thing where you hadn't even paid for it yet, and they had like a mentor that would talk to you and all that. And it just that was okay, but after just looking at your videos, reading about you, it was just hands down, y'all had the most highest quality production value for your marketing, and I felt like, plus you had a very in-depth programming course I wanted to take. It by far it had, there were some that had something close, but y'all had like 4 different programming languages, and it was very encompassing and all that. Probably the reason why I took it was because it was self-paced, and I was able to do it at nights because I had a full-time job, and I still had to earn a living while I did that. So that's probably the most thing that stood out to me. Well, it kind of opened my eyes to what was out there. I landed a job right out the gate. I'm very happy with it, and honestly, I would have never even applied for it had I not went to the company. Learning all about computers and the way things work, the way web pages and all that work, makes my job a little easier, and helps me understand what people are talking about instead of just being a cabinet maker with some experience. So it all helped all together, to be honest with you. I don't think I'd do anything different if I could go back in time and start over.